All right, guys, welcome back to the Walleye Files. We are going to Pool 4, Mississippi River. Dan McGuire, how you doing, Dan?
Hey, doing great, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. Right at the top here, Dan, why don't you promote anything you got, your socials, your guide business, and where they can reach you.
All right, absolutely. So I run Big River Angling Adventures and fully guided walleye trips on the Mississippi River. My focus is pools 2 through 4, and so pools 2 through 4, we're talking St. Paul, Minnesota, down to Alma, Wisconsin. That whole stretch of river through there, and that also includes Lake Pepin is part of Pool 4, and so phenomenal walleye fishery, all of those pools, and world class sauger fishery on Pool 4. So certainly fortunate to get to fish those pools as much as I do. As far as socials go, you can find me on Facebook, Big River Angling Adventures, and folks that are interested in booking a trip with me. And one of the peak times, I mean, we're just right on the cusp of things turning on, especially on Pool 4, which I fish a lot this time of year. So if folks want to book a trip, they can reach me at 715-308-5237. I'm also going to be out at the Northwest Sports Show this coming week here, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So folks can stop by booth 1306 and talk fishing. And I'm also doing some seminars out there on all 4 days as well, so folks can stop out and do a little BSing on fishing walleyes on the river.
Is that in Duluth?
That is in Minneapolis, and it's Minneapolis at the Minneapolis Convention Center.
Oh, awesome! That'll be a great show.
Yeah, look forward to it.
So, Dan, let's talk about the current conditions of that river, because obviously that place changes every single day.
It really does. That's one of the challenges. That's one of the things that makes it unique and makes it a lot of fun to fish. Is things are always changing, and right now, not only are we going through that seasonal change where some of those fish, those saugers, are making their move out of their wintering holes in the river and moving up to get the spawn going. We've got the walleye migration and those fish that are moving upriver to spawn too. And then obviously this time Mother Nature always throws more transitions at us as well, not just your typical seasonal stuff, but 2 days ago and that we were dealing with gin clear water, about as gin clear as the Mississippi gets. And I spent some time on the river today, and it was absolute chocolate milk today. Especially when you got down, especially below where the Vermilion River dumps into the main channel. The Vermilion was just dumping mud and all kinds of debris and stuff out into the river today. So I did notice that when you got above the Vermilion, the clarity was better. But boy, I spent a lot of time downstream of Red Wing and spent some time on the main channel, the back channel, and that below Red Wing, and boy, it was muddy down there. Lots of debris too right now, where that was a non-factor 2 days ago.
And what's the water levels looking like? Can we access the Wisconsin channels quite yet?
If you know what you're doing, yeah. There is just down from Highway 63. There is a cut that goes back in there, and that cut will get you around the no wake zone at Red Wing. And so I've been using that cut. I'm not ready yet to run the full back channel. I know when you guys were there last May for the NWT, the back channel, you could run about anywhere you wanted to go. But right now things are pretty skinny going down that back channel, and certainly not a risk I'm going to take, and certainly not someone that's new to the river should be spending time exploring right now either.
Definitely. So you said that water is getting super muddy, that Vermilion's pushing a lot of dirt and silt in the system. What does that do to the bite? Because I know if, a little over a week and a half ago, they had the Freeze Your Butt Off tournament. It sounded like that bite was actually pretty good.
It was a pretty solid bite then. And again, I was out on Saturday and had a solid bite on Saturday and that as well. I only had 3 overs and they were just overs, but still, the bite was solid. Um, and you could go up and fish around some of those wintering holes and up towards the dam and catch plenty of saugers and that right now too. But I think what's happened, or at least what I was seeing today, was watching those fish on active target. I could go in and find those pods of fish and that on my side imaging, and then come back and pitch at those fish, and zero reaction. Even to a point where it seemed like I was dropping it right on their nose. I was getting zero reaction from those fish today in some of those shallower areas that were just the water was really dirtied up. And I tried throwing some bigger, heavier, bulkier baits at them, something that was bright, and hoping to trigger a strike. And again, I just wasn't effective. I'm sure there were guys out there today that figured it out and found a few good fish. That somebody always does. I know I talked to a lot of folks today too, and that in passing, and it sounded like the water getting muddied up like it has shut the bite off for a lot of folks. And that right now, again, I did spend some time up the dam, and there's still a solid sauger bite, and that going up by the dam and just above the vermilion.
Can you walk across from Minnesota to Wisconsin on boats yet?
Yeah. When I pulled into the boat landing today, I thought to myself, wow, is everybody retired now? Because there was 35 rigs in the boat landing when I pulled in there this morning already. So part of that, but yeah, there's definitely days when you spend as much time with your foot in someone else's boat as you do with it in your own, up there.
Oh yeah.
But no, it wasn't too bad today. I think that as folks are coming out and here over the next few weeks, as that bite really starts to pick up and get hot, the good news is that today I heard that Colville Landing opened up, and so that'll create another landing for people. As of a week ago, or even 3-4 days ago, you had Everett's Resort, and you had the back channel landing there off Highway 63 by Hager City. Those were the only 2 landings that you could put a boat in. So lots of congestion, but I heard Colville is open, and I also heard that they were getting close to Bay Point being open, and that as well. So things are opening up, and in perfect time, because I think that bite is gonna, again, it's been decent. There's days that have been solid. I've seen some reports and pictures of folks, catching some of those nice pre-spawn walleyes and that already as they're transitioning up the river. But with that bite going to get hot here in the next couple of weeks, it's nice to have extra landings opening up.
Absolutely.
If there was one presentation that somebody who's not from the area, they're going to come out with their own boat and try this on their own. If there's one presentation that they're going to bring, what would you recommend?
Boy, me personally, I love pitching shallow, and love pitching rocks or pitching sand flats, and that. And so with that, to narrow it down as much as I can, I would throw hair jigs. I would throw a jig in plastic, and I would throw blade baits. Those would be kind of the 3 things, and just continue to cycle through those. Those fish, they'll hit a hair jig for an hour, and then you got to switch it up and throw a blade at them or something. So I think that's a great way to do it, and especially if you're looking at targeting those bigger fish. Typically in the springtime, that's a great way that I put big fish in the boat is pitching shallow, pitching rocks, and pitching sand flats. I think if a person right now, and again with the flow being as low as it is, running Dubuque rigs is a great way to do it right now, and find a current seam and slowly pull those Dubuque rigs upstream.
Great information there. Last I had heard, the ice was still just south of the cans. Is there still ice down there on Pepin, or is that pretty much open now?
That is really starting to open up. I went down the can line a ways today. I didn't stop because I couldn't go any further, but I don't know if you guys are familiar with where Green Point is, or Greens Point.
Yep.
It's about the third point down the can line there. I was to Greens today, and if I looked way downriver, I could see ice, and that down towards the end of Point No Point. And that was where I could still see ice. But that whole flat down from Bay City all looked to be ice free, and that now too. So that's really opening up, because again, about a week and a half ago, I did see how far I could go, and I could get about a third to a half of the way down No Point. And so it's really receded. And even at that point, that big flat out from Bay City was still all iced over. And it sounds like, again, just some of the reports I was hearing and getting to was, even as of late last week, guys were still catching fish on the ice, like out from the Frontenac area and that there. So I hope they're not out there anymore.
Yeah, that'd be dangerous. Get out there now.
Yeah.
What's the flow looking like right now? I don't know if we've touched on that.
I don't have the exact numbers for you on the flow, but it has increased with this runoff from that latest snowstorm. Flow definitely had picked up today. Boy, we could still use more flow though. It hasn't gotten to the point where it's really concentrating fish on specific seams or on specific spots. Those fish are still scattered bank to bank. Yeah. So current right now, not necessarily a major factor.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being on, Dan. We really appreciate you coming on and giving us a great report. We'd love to have you on again sometime. And guys, if you're looking to get out on Mississippi River, big river angling adventures, call Dan McGuire.
Absolutely. And I'd love to be back on here if in a few weeks you guys are looking for more info when this bite starts to pick up. Absolutely, let me know and I'll jump back on with you.
Sounds
awesome.
Great.
Thank you, Dan. Appreciate it.
Yep. Have a good night,
guys.
Bye.